Imagine unlocking a secret conversation happening right beneath your feet. Your soil is constantly communicating, sending out subtle signals about its health and needs. Are you missing these vital clues that could transform your garden? Every seasoned gardener knows that soil isn't just dirt. It's a living, breathing ecosystem with its own language. The question isn't whether your soil is talking, it's whether you're fluent enough to understand what it's desperately trying to tell you. The silent scream, why your soil is begging for help. What if I told you your garden soil has been screaming for help, but you've been walking right past its cries? That yellowing of your tomato leaves isn't random bad luck, it's a distress signal. Those stunted carrots that never reached their potential weren't victims of poor genetics, they were casualties of soil that couldn't support their growth. When we ignore these warnings, we're essentially turning our backs on a conversation that could revolutionize our gardening success. The consequences of this communication breakdown extend far beyond disappointing harvests. Ignoring soil signals leads to a cascade of problems: increased susceptibility to plant diseases, higher pest pressure, reduced nutrient uptake, and ultimately, gardens that require constant intervention rather than thriving naturally. Your soil might be nutrient depleted, compacted beyond repair, or struggling with pH imbalances that make even the most basic nutrients unavailable to your plants. The good news? Once you learn to interpret these signals, you'll wonder how you ever gardened without this knowledge. Unlocking the secret language visual cues your soil sends every day. Color tells the most immediate story about your soil's health, and it's speaking volumes if you know how to listen. Rich dark loam with deep chocolate or coffee-colored hues signals abundant organic matter and healthy microbial activity. This is soil that's practically humming with life, full of decomposed plant material that feeds both soil organisms and your plants. However, if your soil appears pale, grayish, or washed out, it's crying out for organic matter and showing signs of nutrient depletion. Sandy soils often display light tan or beige colors, indicating excellent drainage, but also warning you about potential nutrient leaching and moisture retention issues. These soils are essentially telling you they need help holding on to both water and nutrients. Conversely, if you notice reddish or orange tints, your soil might be revealing iron-rich conditions or potential drainage problems. Greenish hues in consistently wet areas often indicate anaerobic conditions where beneficial bacteria can't thrive, and your soil is essentially suffocating. The texture of your soil speaks just as loudly as its color, offering tactile warnings that experienced gardeners learn to read instinctively. Crumbling dryness that falls apart at the slightest touch is soil screaming for moisture and organic matter. This condition creates a hostile environment where plant roots struggle to establish themselves and water runs off rather than soaking in. On the opposite extreme, soil that forms impenetrable compaction resists your shovel and refuses to break apart easily. This soil is telling you that it's been compressed beyond its ability to function properly, creating barriers that prevent root growth, water infiltration, and air movement. Gooey stickiness that clings to your tools and boots indicates clay-heavy soil with drainage issues. While clay soils can be incredibly fertile, they're also communicating their struggle with proper aeration and water movement. When you squeeze this soil in your hand, it forms tight balls that hold their shape, essentially showing you how roots feel when they try to penetrate this dense medium. Your plants act as interpreters for your soil's condition, translating underground struggles into visible symptoms above ground. Wilting, despite adequate watering, is one of the most common distress signals, often indicating that your soil structure prevents proper water uptake even when moisture is present. This could mean compacted soil that prevents root expansion or soil chemistry that's so out of balance that plants can't access available water effectively. Nutrient deficiencies manifesting on leaves tell specific stories about your soil's chemical communication. Yellowing leaves starting from the bottom of plants often indicate nitrogen deficiency, suggesting your soil lacks the organic matter and beneficial bacteria needed to make nitrogen available. Purple-tinged leaves might signal phosphorus deficiency, often caused by soil pH that's too alkaline or acidic for proper nutrient uptake. Brown leaf edges frequently point to potassium deficiency or salt buildup, both conditions that reflect your soil's mineral balance struggles. Unusual pest infestations often correlate directly with soil health issues, creating a feedback loop where stressed plants become more susceptible to attack. Healthy soil produces healthy plants with robust natural defenses, while compromised soil creates weakened plants that essentially send out chemical signals attracting pests and diseases. Beyond sight, the olfactory and tactile warnings. The aroma of healthy soil tells its own compelling story, one that gardeners often overlook in our visually oriented world. Rich, healthy soil carries the scent of fresh earth after rain, a clean, slightly sweet smell that indicates active decomposition and thriving microbial communities. This aroma comes from compounds released by beneficial soil organisms as they break down organic matter, essentially the perfume of a functioning ecosystem. Sour or putrid smells, however, signal serious problems brewing beneath the surface. These odors indicate anaerobic conditions where harmful bacteria dominate, often caused by poor drainage or excessive organic matter that's rotting rather than decomposing properly. A vinegar-like smell might indicate overly acidic conditions, while ammonia odors suggest nitrogen imbalances that could burn plant roots. The hand test remains one of the most reliable methods for understanding your soil's moisture and organic matter content. Healthy soil feels slightly moist and crumbles easily in your hand while maintaining some cohesion. It should feel alive, not dusty and lifeless, nor waterlogged and heavy. When you squeeze a handful, it should form a loose ball that breaks apart with gentle pressure, indicating the perfect balance of drainage and moisture retention. Root examination reveals perhaps the most honest assessment of soil conditions available to any gardener. Carefully pulling up a small plant or examining roots during transplanting shows you exactly how your soil is performing from the plant's perspective. Healthy roots in good soil appear white or cream-colored, with numerous fine feeder roots and a robust main root system. Stunted, brown or mushy roots indicate soil problems ranging from compaction to disease pressure to chemical imbalances. The presence or absence of earthworms provides one of the most reliable indicators of soil health, serving as living barometers for the conditions below ground. Earthworms thrive in well-aerated soil rich in organic matter, and their tunneling activities improve soil structure, while their castings add incredible fertility. If you're not finding earthworms in your garden soil, it's sending a clear message about pH problems, compaction, chemical contamination, or lack of organic matter. Ready to transform your relationship with your garden soil? Subscribe to the Humus Heritage channel for more deep-dive gardening content that goes beyond surface-level advice. Share this guide with fellow gardeners who are ready to start listening to what their soil has been trying to tell them all along. Your garden and your soil will thank you for finally joining the conversation.